Hello and welcome to the Optimal Blue Originator Plus demo. I'm David Piepenberg and I will walk you through the key features of the Originator Plus account. Right now I've logged into my demo account and it allows us to run the searches to get the best pricing for your scenario. Right now I'm on the search page. On the right hand side is you see where you can plug in the different parameters for your searches. Start with your loan amount, lock days, FICO, etc. Also allows you to select the type of underwriting. You can select an individual one or you can select all to give you the widest selection of results. The programs you can choose from, property types, just plug in everything. You can select from all your investors that you have loaded in your account, or you can narrow those down if you'd like to just select from one, two, or a handful. You can create your own list if you are going to use that over and over again, or you can just select all. When you've completed everything in the parameters here, you come down and hit submit. When you hit the submit button, it will sort through your investors and give you your results. You can also run an MI search to give you your best MI execution. When you save the scenario, it allows you to save your scenario, and that's what you see over here on the left-hand side. So when you do that, it allows you to update this scenario, and you can quickly see if rate or price has gotten worse or gotten better. You can also assign a borrower to that scenario. You can give it a name, and then if I click on the scenario, it will fill the search parameters on the right-hand side to the investors. It will show you your retrieving results icon, and then the qualified tab of the investors that can do the deal will pop up. So now that it's run the search, I'm on the qualified tab. It's going to give me best pricing, closest to par. You see the rate, and then my price column. Starting from the left, you can see the guidelines are included. If I click on this G, it will pull up the guidelines for me, and I can quickly sort through those as necessary. The P allows you to mark any of these investors as a preferred investor, and that's up to you if you want to use that or give them that designation. Same with the rate sheets. If you want those to be visible and be able to access those directly, you can click on the Excel or PDF icon, or if you don't want those accessible, you can hide those. If I scroll over to the investor, I can give them a rating. I can plug in fees. That's specific to you and if you want to use that or not. Some of these might also be part of our investor promotional program. And if you scroll over one of those, it will give you some information about that investor, and it'll also tell you how to contact them. We also have an underwriting and prepay, so this lets you know which rate sheet that you're dealing with. We have an updated column, and this gives you a timestamp of the rate sheet, so it lets you know when it was last updated in the system. So as rates change throughout the day, those rates will be updated immediately in the system so that you know you're dealing with the most recent pricing. We have the lock period and the expiration date. We also have the QM indicator column. And this is the red light, green light, pass, fail, or not enough information. If you click on the dot itself, it will pull up the parameters that were used in the QM indicator. You can also check the rate, the P&I, and then on the price and credit fee column, I can click this link to allow you to see which adjustments were made to get to that final pricing. So if the adjustments are in the rate sheet, we'll be able to pick those up and display them here. It also gives you higher and lower options. So if I wanted to rerun the search for this investor, I could click on this link and it would allow me to rerun the search at that rate. I can also scroll to the top here and see the higher rates options here. So same thing, if I clicked on one of these links, it would allow me to rerun that search for that particular rate. If I scroll all the way to the bottom, it would allow me to run the search at a lesser rate. And then we also have the LO comp plan available. It allows you to plug in your comp plan and display that in this column. We also have a disqualified tab. If one of your investors did not show up, this would allow you to see why. So I had selected all underwriting, so this is letting me know that the manual is not available for this particular scenario. But if I had a low FICO or high DTI or LTV that the scenario would not apply for that particular investor, it would give me a big red X and let me know why. Another key feature to the Originator Plus account is the monitoring. So when you save these scenarios, it allows you to save it as a prospect. Once I click on the prospect monitor, I can sort through these different ways. I can sort by the contact name, scenario name, etc. But then I can also change their status. So I can change it to a floating, locked, or closed refi. And what this allows me to do is to set a target and an alert so I can make sure no deals are slipping fingers. So I can set an email to get an email alert, and then I can set the target. So I can either do a global or I can do an individual trigger. In this particular scenario, I set up a 0.5 point as the trigger. So when I ran the original search on this one, it was 4.75. So this would send me an email if my rate got better by 0.5 point. But let's say I wasn't looking for 0.5 point better, maybe I was looking for a 1/4 point better. I can override that global trigger with the individual trigger. So for each scenario, it gives you that flexibility. Another key feature with the Originator Plus account are the email campaigns. With the email campaigns, it allows you to set up different campaigns, so you can have multiple campaigns running at different times. If I click on one as an example, it allows you to control the message, who it goes to, what scenarios you're showing, if any, and how often you send the email campaign. So you give it a title, you can give it a subject, that's the subject line in your email. We have templates that you can choose from, or you can actually go in and create your own. So if you wanted to go in here and make a real fancy one with your picture and your logo and your link to your website, you could do that. You could save it as a template so that you could use it over and over again. But from here, I could also control the recipients. So if I wanted this to be a one-person campaign or a group of people, I could set that up. If I wanted to show one scenario or multiple scenarios, it would allow me to do that. And then I can schedule how often I want this to go out. If this is a one-time campaign or a daily campaign, weekly, monthly, or I can also set it up as a trigger. So like the monitoring campaigns up here, you can set it to go out when rates improve or when a target is reached. Another key feature is the LO comp plans. So with the LO comp plans, it allows you to set up what your compensation is when you run the. You can do that one of two ways. You can do an individual plan. This allows you to set up the comp for each individual investor, or you can set up a global plan, which basically says for all your investors, I'm getting paid the same way. And that concludes the Originator Plus demo.